This is something that probably could have stayed in the States. Was a bit of a surprise after hearing how anti-Halloween a lot of Aussies are. This one probably pisses Aussies off. Number one, and this one is going to upset so many Aussies right off the bat, but let's go for it. I don't know why I feel like weirdly called out about this. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Caitlin. I'm an American writer living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. And as an American, there are some things that I just miss from home. One of those things always does tend to be the foods that really do make me feel homesick at certain times of the year. And after going through Coles and Woolies and whatnot, I've noticed that there are actually some American foods that are popping up around Australia. So if you want to see the 20 American foods that I've seen pop up in grocery stores around here, grab a bicky, grab a cuppa, and let's get right to this video. So I'm going to do timestamps down below, but I'm going to start with a little disclaimer because I know if I just launch right into this, people are going to lose their minds, especially here in Australia. This does not mean every single grocery store across Australia carries these items. Grocery stores in Australia are so selective about the area that you live and what products are available. Now, I live all the way out in Western Sydney and I typically get my groceries delivered or I go to certain shops. So I'm only talking about what was available in those shops or the places where I have my groceries delivered, typically from Woolies or Coles. So for one, I'm not talking about Aldi off-brand foods, I am talking about like the sort of brand name-ish kinds of foods here. But also remember, I live in a very large metropolitan area. Chances are what I have available in my local Coles or Woolies is not going to be available out in the outback somewhere, or out in the bush, or maybe even in other larger cities. So just remember when I'm saying this, I'm only talking about my experience, my grocery stores near me. There might be grocery stores that have way more of a selection of American foods that I'm not aware of. And there might be grocery stores that have absolutely none of this anywhere. So just keep that in mind as we go through this list, and please don't come at me if your grocery store doesn't have some of these. Number one, and this one is going to upset so many Aussies right off the bat, but let's go for it, orange cheese. Coles has started selling this sort of Mexican blend orange cheese, which is delicious for quesadillas, for tacos, and it's orange. It's this chipotle infused cheese, and obviously if you have like yellow whitish cheese and you mix reddish chipotle flavorings and whatnot in it, you're going to end up with an orangey color. So we've got orange cheese that is being sold in Coles. Orange cheese alone seems to baffle so many Australians because cheese is typically like a yellow whitish color. So as an American, I highly recommend if you're looking for a good sort of Mexican-ish style cheese to make quesadillas. I'm still waiting to find a good like queso fresco somewhere nearby, but this is really good if you just want like a lazy quesadilla or nacho meal. Number two are Reeses. Reeses cups and Reeses minis are now at the Woolies near me. I'm so excited. They actually went on special for half off the other day and I picked up a few and put them in the fridge because let me tell you guys, cold Reeses cups make the perfect snack. And not only do they have Reeses cups, they also have Reeses minis. And I'm actually really excited to take these into work at some point and share them with my coworkers. I absolutely love these. I adore these. I grew up on the whole chocolate peanut butter combo. Reeses were one of the best treats that you can get during Halloween when we were trick-or-treating, getting those little individual Reeses cups. It was something I so look forward to as a kid. I still love them as an adult and I'm so happy that these are at Woolies now. Number three is Hershey's ice cream, which is actually not bad ice cream if I'm going to be honest, guys. Now, I know Hershey's chocolate is not known for being good quality chocolate, even I know that. But when you grow up on Hershey's, you like the taste, you like the nostalgia of it, even if you know mentally it is not the best chocolate you have ever had. They've started selling Hershey's ice cream and it's just such a little comfort treat. On top of that, they've also started selling Hershey's syrup. So I know this has actually been around for a while, but I've seen chocolate, caramel, and strawberry Hershey syrup here. Again, absolutely loved Hershey's chocolate syrup. Grew up with it as a kid. Way more popular in my house than like Nesquik or Ovaltine was. We always went for Hershey syrup, even like off-brand chocolate syrup, and it was so good growing up. So once in a while, if I want to feel like a kid again, if I just want that little bit of nostalgia feeling, I go and grab some of this and make myself a glass of chocolate milk with Hershey syrup, and it brings me right back to when I was a kid. Number five is yellow American mustard, and I don't know why Aussies insist on calling this American mustard. In the States, it's just yellow mustard. Why don't you just call it yellow mustard here? Why do you have to call it American mustard? Most mustard here, apart from yellow American mustard, is like a brownish color. It's not that bright, vibrant yellow color that you see on like classic American hot dog ads. So why not just call it yellow mustard? Why do you have to specify that it's American mustard? I don't know why I feel like weirdly called out about this. I absolutely love yellow mustard, but for some reason I feel weirdly called out that they have to call this American mustard. Number 6 is buffalo wing sauce, and let me tell you guys, if you're going to the shops and you see a couple different ones, Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Wing Sauce is the best buffalo sauce you can pick up at the shops. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It is the best buffalo sauce that you can get at a grocery store. There were a couple good ones over in the States, but some of them like were very niche. You can only get them in certain shops in certain areas. If you're looking for just a general version, I definitely pick this over Sweet Baby Ray's, which I've seen also lately as well. And I think you can get this at Costco. Number 7 is Philadelphia cream cheese. Cream cheese is a staple in America, and it's a staple here. People use it for a lot of different recipes, and Philadelphia brand cream cheese is available here. In fact, when I first came over here to visit back in 2019, when I said I was from Philadelphia, people were like, oh, like the cream cheese. Yes, like the cream cheese. Yes, forget the fact that it's like the birthplace of America and independence and democracy. We're known for our cream cheese internationally, apparently. Number 8 is Kraft Shaky Parmesan cheese. You know that really cheap Parmesan cheese, or at least it used to be cheap when I was a kid? That Parmesan cheese that pretty much tastes like cardboard and doesn't really have much of a cheese taste. But somehow when you put it on spaghetti and meatballs, it just made it taste 10 times better. Yeah, that cardboard cheese is now available in Kohl's and Woolies here. So if you're looking for that old school shaky Parmesan cheese, they've got Kraft Parmesan cheese here. Not nearly as good as regular Parmesan cheese, but I know a lot of American kids who grew up on this. Number 9 are Lean Cuisine and Weight Watchers meals, which kind of makes me sad that that is part of the diet culture that Australia has decided to latch on to, those really high sodium, high carb, poorly made meals, all in the name of weight loss, instead of actually teaching people how to properly eat. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. If Lean Cuisine and Weight Watchers meals are your go-to, then by all means, have at it. I have to say, it does make me a little bit sad to actually see these here, because this is not a part of America that I wanted to leave America. Number 10 are jumbo marshmallows. Like, I'm talking the marshmallows that you use when you go camping to make s'mores. For the longest time, all I saw were those bags of white and pink marshmallows, and they just don't taste like regular American marshmallows. There's some sort of slightly off flavoring to them, whereas now they have jumbo marshmallows that you can use for s'mores, and I cannot wait until it's actually like cold enough that we can get a little bit of a bonfire going and actually make s'mores in the backyard. I will find a way to get my hands on Hershey's chocolate bars for this and graham crackers. I miss s'mores so much. Number 11 are bottled Starbucks drinks, and I know this one probably pisses Aussies off even more than the orange cheese does. Yes, there is now bottled Starbucks espresso drinks available in Kohl's and Woolies. Not quite the same as the Frappuccino ones that I used to get in the States. Those I loved. I used to think I was so like fancy and bougie when I was 11 or 12 and drinking one of those bottled Starbucks Frappuccinos. Now they have these little Starbucks drinks. Let me tell you, they are small for how expensive they are. Like, you're probably better off actually finding a Starbucks and getting an actual Starbucks drink if you want a Starbucks kick here. But they do have them, and once in a while, if you can get them on sale, if you can get them on special, they're not bad. You can definitely get better drinks here, but they're not bad. Personally, I take a Dare coffee over a bottle of Starbucks coffee in the chilled dairy aisle any day, but that's just me. I'm also still the person that gets Starbucks when they go into the city, so you can't really take my word for it when it comes down to Starbucks. It's all over the place for me. Next are Nestle's Crunch. I've seen Crunch bars, and now that we are in Easter at the time of filming this, I've also seen Nestle Crunch Easter eggs. When I was a kid, I wasn't a huge fan of these, but as an adult, I absolutely love these. Putting these in the fridge, that crunch, that little bit of sweetness, like a small little piece here and there was the perfect little afternoon treat. And I'm not going to run out and buy these in bulk. They're good, but there's definitely better chocolate here. But once in a while, if the mood hits me and I really want like an old school American candy bar, they have Nestle's Crunch here, and that normally hits the spot. Number 13 are Halloween themed candies, or lollies here in Australia, or chocolates depending on the types of candy that you're picking up. It's not confusing at all. So Halloween is starting to become a little bit more of a popular thing here in Australia. Kids are starting to go trick-or-treating, and along with that, companies have decided to hop on the Halloween bandwagon and start doing Halloween-themed, Halloween-decorated treats. So seeing Halloween Freddo Frogs and Caramella Koalas and whatnot was a bit of a surprise after hearing how anti-Halloween a lot of Aussies are. But I saw these in Kohl's and Woolies. I saw these in Target and Big W and Kmart. Halloween decorated treats. As a kid who loved Halloween, I absolutely love this. Number 14 are Dino Nuggets. I had no idea that these were a thing outside of America, but yeah, you can buy Dino Nuggets here in Australia as well. I remember when some of my cousins were little and Dino Nuggets really became popular, they went nuts for these things. Like, they wouldn't even eat regular chicken nuggets, it had to be Dino Nuggets. Now, they were like 3 or 4, but I thought that was just an American thing. When I came over here and saw Dino Nuggets, I was surprised, but also not, because kids are kids. Number 15 is bubbly water, and this is something that probably could have stayed in the States. When I was in the States, I absolutely loved drinking seltzer water or like sparkling water, whatever you want to call it. Bubbly water is actually a really popular option, and if we could get it on sale, I used to pick it up when I was over in the States. And something about the taste is just different to the bubbly water that's sold here in Australia. There's almost like this oddly bitter aftertaste to the bubbly water that's here in Australia compared to Mount Franklin sparkling water, which is what I get all the time here. Absolutely love Mount Franklin sparkling water. I drink it pretty much every single day. I love the flavored ones. But bubbly water here in Australia, it just doesn't taste the same as the bubbly water in the States. This is something that probably could have stayed over in America as far as I'm concerned, but if you miss it, if you just came over here and might not notice too much of a difference, go ahead and give it a try. Personally, I think Mount Franklin's cheaper. You get more in a box and it just tastes better. 16 are M&Ms, and this one actually surprised me because when I first came over here to visit in 2019, I just saw Smarties everywhere, which is basically the same kind of concept as M&Ms, a little candy-coated shell of chocolate. But Smarties aren't as bright. They have more natural dyes to them, whereas M&Ms, they are bright colors, that bright blue, that bright neon green. So I was actually surprised to see that M&Ms are really common and kind of popular over here, actually. I always thought it was just Smarties, because when I came over here, Treats had Smarties in them or Bickies had Smarties in them. I never saw anything made with M&Ms. And now I'm seeing them become more common and more popular at places like Woolies, at Big W, at Kmart, at Target. I don't know whether they've just picked up in popularity since 2019 or Smarties just surprised me so much when I first came over here that I was blindsided to M&Ms being a thing over here. But if you want some American chocolate, go for a bag of M&Ms, because we all know they melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Number 17 are Poptarts. Now, you cannot get all the flavors that you can find over in the States, and I do miss some of the flavors over there. I personally brought back some of the wild berry ones with me. But here in Australia, if you want the brown sugar cinnamon or the strawberry or the blueberry or this, what is it, cookies and cream, they have some really common flavors here if you want something that's going to scratch that itch. But if there's specific Pop-Tart flavors that you want, I'd suggest either ordering them on places like USA Foods, ordering them off of Amazon, or making sure that you stock up when you fly back from the States, or have friends and family send them in a care package. There are ways to get the Pop-Tarts that you want, and if you really like the common flavors, good news, they have them here. 18 is Skippy peanut butter. I love American peanut butter. Something about it is just a little bit more sweet and also at the same time a little bit more salty. There's more flavor to American peanut butter than I've tasted with Australian peanut butter. Maybe it's because that's what I grew up on as a kid, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and like I said earlier, Reese's peanut butter. But I love that the grocery stores around here actually sell Skippy peanut butter, and they don't just have the smooth, they have the chunky one, which is always my preference whenever I'm making a PB&J. Even though Australian peanut butter tastes alright, something about it reminds me of that like natural or organic peanut butter that you would find in the States. It's just a little bit more oily, it's not as salty, and it's not as sweet, which probably means it's a lot healthier than American peanut butter, but let's face it, if you're having a PB&J, you're not going for health. 19 are hot dogs, old school American style hot dogs. I've seen these at Kohl's. I've actually seen 2 different types at Kohl's, and this makes me happy because I really actually miss hot dogs. As much as I didn't really want to eat them when I was in the States, I think it's one of those things where you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And once in a while, out of nowhere, I crave a hot dog. Which is so funny because if you told me that when I lived in the States, I would have thought you were crazy that I'd ever want to eat a hot dog. I eat them because somebody made them. I eat them because that was the only thing that was available. Hot dogs were never my go-to. But now that I haven't had some in a while, I actually kind of miss them, and we actually can get American style hot dogs here in Kohl's. And last is Southern style / Louisiana style frozen chicken. And I've seen this at Kohl's as well. It's basically just frozen chicken tenders with a little bit more kick, a little bit more spice, a little bit more of that southern heat to it. I'm sure it's not going to be nearly as good as actual chicken that you can get in Louisiana or in the South, but if you want chicken tenders that actually have a little bit more of a taste to them or don't just have that sweet chili taste to them, Definitely pick these up. They do remind me a little bit of like the frozen buffalo tenders that you can get over in the States. They're good. They're not bad. It's one of those things where if you miss American frozen chicken meals, maybe grab one of these because it does kind of scratch that itch. But I'm sure people from the South would say that this tastes absolutely nothing like Southern chicken. So that's it for this video, you guys. 20 American foods that I've actually found in the local shops here. For my Americans in the audience, hopefully you feel a little bit less homesick. And for my Aussies out there, if you want to try some American style foods, let's maybe broaden your horizons a little bit, broaden your taste buds, and give some of these American foods a try if you see them at the shops. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below, especially the subscribe button. I would love to get this channel to 12,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I cannot do that without your help. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!